Well, hello. Welcome to Team FI Reunited's quarterfinals submission video. Today will be fairly quick and likely primarily unedited. And just want to recap on the last week. On Monday, we are really psyched about having made it to the next round. We didn't take that for granted under no circumstances. But that was also followed by the realization that the time had come. And the time had come based on what we had expected already, that if you're part of a data science competition, some stage you would have to solve tasks that involve data science. And for that, that has happened in this round, I guess. So very quickly we started learning about the different algorithms that are built in KNIME, hierarchical clustering, and also DB-scan. And based on the dataset, we really thought that DB-scan was the right way to go for. But boy, let me tell you, we had a thought of noise. We only had really noise with DB-scan. That's why we then decided to pivot. To make sure that the classes still have a meaningful number of participants each and that we do not have too many or too less clusters, we decided to build in some flexibility. And we did that by allowing the user to configure upper and lower thresholds in terms of members per cluster. And for any cluster that has more than the threshold, members of the cluster will recursively go into another round of clustering to break that large cluster down into subclusters. And any classes that I identified that have less than the minimum threshold, they will be assigned to an other cluster, I guess. That's the misfits. The dashboard isn't active. And we again managed to use an API to fetch some images to make it a bit more interactive. But how about I just jump into a very quick demo of our workflow. See you in a bit. Alright, here is a high level of our workflow. Some important things before we get started. Make sure that the following files are in the same folder in your KNIME workspace. Then this workflow, then they will be read automatically. And I mentioned it already, we're using a free superhero API to fetch images and additional information. So make sure that you're connected to the internet. Let's start with the Cluster Explorer, and we will actually do some configuration. So in the configuration dialog, you can set the upper and the lower threshold. So let's just change this from the default to some different grand numbers. And then let's go execute an open view. This will now take a while, so I'll actually speed it up. There we go. So to start with, we have a tree map which shows the different clusters and also identifies the top 3 superpowers in each cluster. And by hovering over, you get to count. When you then scroll down, you get that overview in a tile view, also with the assigned colors that you will notice further down the graph. We then have the mean score of strengths in a radar chart for every cluster. Further down, we then explore a little bit how the alignment is split for each of the clusters. And after that, the male and female, so the gender split. And then we get the mean overall power score per cluster. So after that we get to the second section, and this is actually very important that you make a choice here. You can see there's one cluster with more than the threshold, so that's the misfits cluster, so that's the group where we've put everyone that was below 25. So it's just select maybe this one and hit the refresh button. So that when I'll trigger the API, and after a moment for the selected cluster we get additional insights to see how many of them are good or bad, gender, who's published, the race, the hair color, and so on and so forth. And then we come to this awesome view weight. We can have tiles with the image address that were fetched from the API. So when I now go out of this, make sure to apply changes temporarily. And again, takes a moment to run. And then we can move on to our Hero Data Explorer in a little bit. So if we now execute and open the view, we now get to choose between those top 8 superheroes, and you saw this beautiful animation with Apache charts. And we can then just swap between the different superheroes. Let's go to Chuck Norris. I like him. When we have this image, then we have this other chart, which has these speed quadrants. The radar chart and superpowers pie chart. I actually like it. Peak human condition is Chuck Norris is only superpower. And then we get some general biometrical information and social and professional, if the data was available in the API. So this one which you don't have to save. And the last bit to fulfill the criteria that we actually can generate reports is down here, the meta node. So if I now go execute, this then creates a folder in the KNIME workspace, and it's called Superhero Profiles. And in that Superhero Profiles folder, you will get a folder with the date and the time of the execution of this node. And in there you will get one PDF for each of the 8 superheroes, and I'll just open one up. Now this again is the title of the image, then the quadrants, but this time in white. Radar chart, and pretty much all the other information that we had in the individual view as well. And the idea is a little bit behind this, that, the analyst looks into the, plus the data and picks superheroes that may fit the movie, and can then quickly generate PDFs with the individual profiles and then, send it to management or whatever for decision making. So that's our submission. Has been a really interesting ride in the last week. Learned a lot, was a lot of fun, and let's see how we go. Until maybe next time.